money. I feel like money is the root of all evil. Or is it? Yeah. I don't know what to say about this apart from the fact that this discussion basically I was coming from the fact that when we talk about money and what's it called, people say that when they talk about money and they say that money is what is helping people to survive today. I feel like that's not really true because when you look at topics like when you look at like the essentials for life, like when it comes to shelter and food, currently in the world we have enough food, or we have enough facilities to feed 10 billion people. But in terms of the people that exist in the world today, we have 8 billion people, or 7 to 8 billion people.
Yeah.
And basically we have 1 billion people starving, and the rest are living in some type of, obviously some are living good, depending on which decision you go on as well. Like 1 billion people are starving, and then the rest are doing okay above that line. But also when it comes to what's it called, the other one I mentioned, which is to do with shelter, we have enough land for people to live in and whatnot. So yeah, so a lot of people make this argument that we need money in our lives to live and whatnot and everything, and I'm just coming from the idea that what's it called, we have the essential needs are already met, and money is just another thing I believe is used to control people or power. So yeah,
I understand where you're coming from, but don't you think money too is meant to be there for people to kind of, you know what I mean? I don't have to explain about like, I want to live a better life, but be a bit more organized in your life. I don't know if what I'm trying to say makes sense.
But money comes from the concept of scarcity. So if you don't have enough of certain resources or whatnot, then you're going to use money in order to be able to make a fairer system. So let's say that there's only 10 laptops and only 11 people are coming to get the laptop. That person that 2 people who's left to choose that 1 laptop, whoever has the higher amount of money, that's where money comes in it. But when it comes to the fact that we have all 11 laptops and there's 11 people, like you don't need money anymore. Like everyone can get 1 laptop each. So that's the concept I'm coming from, where money is only for scarcity.
I understand that, but at the same time, I feel like money is just the tool that's there at this moment. If the tool was water, people will still find a way to control.
People already do. Like it's not, when you made that, now you made the example of water. Like like it's crazy. That's what I keep telling people. Like, how is it that you're paying for water when water is like you could get it from anywhere? How are you charging people water? That makes no sense to me. So people do use it for water, but I'm literally saying to people, you don't need to, because water's free, water's everywhere. This is like, if you had your own filtration thing, you could use the water for yourself. But the reason why they don't want to have that is because they put like a pattern, or whatever the business puts on, some type of corporation, whatever, puts some type of patent on the water, and then they tell you can't use your filter or make your own water so that you can drink.
Okay, so I'm going to hit back to when you said about money being the root for evil.
Yeah.
I understand the points you made right now, but I disagree when you say money is the root for evil.
Yeah, I was kind of a little joke about that, but I wouldn't necessarily say money is the root of all evil, in the sense that it's human beings who love money and who have this type of thing for money that are the issue. But at the same time, I feel like money does perpetuate a lot of the negativity that you see happening in society today. So definitely, like, I can agree that it's not the root of evil, but at the same time, it is one of the causes of the problems.
I don't think it's money nor anything. I think it's people and just making, just being, they're not able to control their mind. And what do I mean by that? If you don't have, if you can't, what do you call it, control your mind will control you. And that's when the negative thoughts and negative mindset comes into our minds, right? Because we're just leaving it. If it's like a car, right? If you're driving a car and you just leave it, the car is going to just take you anywhere, right? And that's most majority of people these days. They live in envy and certain things that they've made their mind has given it to them, provided for them. So for us to blame certain tools for what people actually, for people's fault, is a bit unfair, because everything, money comes from nature.
I'll tell you this: money's feelings are not hurting right now. You understand?
Huh?
Money's feelings are not hurting. You know.
I want to say I understand what you're saying, but money is a subconscious vibration.
I've got to say this.
I think there's energy behind everything.
I ain't even got pee on my face. I'm broke right now, of course. I'm gonna bring out like I'm trying to find out and apologize. Like, sorry, I didn't mean to say all them.
No. I mean, we just being, because someone be watching it right now and be thinking, nah, I disagree with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're trying to be a bit balanced.
I mean, where I'm coming from on it, Kwame, just like it's the idea that money is not the actually underlying issue is human beings' behavior. Understand that, I've agreed on that. But where I'm coming from is that human beings now need to move beyond money to a more a human I forgot the book it was, in it, but I think it's the fight. I think there was a guy from the Zeitgeist movement called Peter Joseph who said there was a book called The Fight for Humankind or something like that. So I need to find out for you next time. But yeah, the idea behind that is that we need to move into a much more better type of society now where it's accommodating to everyone. You know, this idea of money come about from, like I said, scarcity.
Okay. You said the idea comes from what? Scarcity.
Yeah.
And how do we overcome scarcity?
Abundance.
And how do you have an abundance? How do you get abundance?
Well, like I stated to you in the beginning, like the essential needs of human beings already been met with shelter and food. So this idea of where we have scarcity in food and shelter is an illusion which people continue to perpetuate today to continue to control people.
I understand that. But I'm saying, we as human beings, we can have everything we want to, right?
Yeah.
But if we don't master, or if we don't have built an abundance, the mindset, we will still live in scarcity regardless of wherever we are right now.
I can understand.
So it comes from the inside.
I can kind of understand what you're saying, but in terms of having that free time to do whatever you want, that's what matters more. And that free time, you can use it to do it. Like the fact is that you can be a fisherman today. Tomorrow you can be a piano player. You can do whatever you want the next day. Do you understand? And that's what getting rid of this scarcity does. And it's not for us to decide whether or not how a person should use their time. It's up to that person or however they want to use their time. You understand? Like, as long as, like I said, my morals come from the fact that you don't infringe upon people's free will or infringe upon people's happiness. Not free will, but free people's happiness. You understand? There's a difference. Because someone will take my statement to mean that, if a paedophile feels like they're happy trying to do something to a little child, I'm going to look at them like, no, because the child's happiness is not something, you understand? Maybe that's a bit too controversial, but yeah. But you know what? It's a bit mad still, but you understand where I'm coming from. Like happiness is the main goal. You understand?
Yeah.
So are you saying that if people don't have money, they'll be more happy? Is that what you're saying? So say for example, yeah, because the way money started was an exchange of goods, basically. So if someone made something, you need to have money to get something in reward. So say for example, we get rid of money, and say for example, someone as a hobby, they like to knit and make jumpers, and say for them to feel good about making that, I want an exchange or something. So is there still going to be an exchange, or is it just going to be?
You're not making it. You're not making
money.
I don't think you make a jumper because you want to make money from it. Like if you like knitting jumpers, you wouldn't be making.
What do you think
getting
you'll feel
a-
better knowing that someone appreciated it, so they'll
Yeah.
give you something for it?
By
But-
adding a service to people.
Yeah.
In order to
But
get
that's-
something, you
that's-
need to give
that-
service to
no,
people.
No, because I don't know how to explain what you guys are doing there, but basically,
You guys are doing
no,
that.
what you can basically you can knit a jumper,
Uh-huh.
give it to someone, and them appreciating it is what matters. You understand? It's just like when you cook for your mom, or I mean, when your mom cooks for you, you don't give something back to your mom for what's it called, like cook it, unless she's African parent, she wants you to wash the dishes after.
Well, if that makes that
Yeah,
person happy,
yeah,
okay.
But-
Say well, if that makes me happy, I want to know that you appreciate it by giving me something. That's what makes me happy. Because you are about making sure everyone keeps the happiness, and that's what makes me happy.
Then it's a fault with you.
Yeah, but you need
You have to
to.
work on yourself, my guy.
Fair enough.
The same way he was explaining about money, I could go to a farmer, knit and give the farmer that clothes, right, and he will in return give me his fruit. It's the same thing as about money.
Yeah,
It's a
it's the
different way
same
to
thing.
exchange things.
Yeah, so
It-
money
it-
is that tool there too. You know what I'm saying? So we can't really.
Yeah, but okay, cool, you get rid of money now, do that. That's probably a better thing rather than say to people, okay, if you don't have enough money to pay for this, you're not going to get it. And then what do we have? We have poor people, homeless people on the streets. We have all these groups of people now going out there. That's how people. That's why some people say money's the root of evil, because you see, the only negative things happen as a result of having not enough money.
But could you argue that's accountability as well? That people not taking any accountability
What do
or
you mean?
taking any ownership of how they got to that situation?
Yeah.
Or is it just based on because there's money, so I'm a victim because I can't afford it? Or is there any accountability that needs to be thought about as well?
Listen, like, maybe it's because the way I understand how capitalism or this society works, maybe I'm wrong. You understand? I can admit I could be wrong, but the way I see it and the way I understand it is that in order for people to be successful in the system, you have to have some people not doing okay, or some people working for you, or being lower than you in order for you to thrive. You understand? When you go for that job interview, yeah, you're not thinking about the 3 other people that you're competing for that one job. You're thinking about yourself. You understand? You're not thinking that that person who's coming for this job, that one of 3 other people, they might be on the verge of losing their house, and this is the final opportunity for them to get this, to be able to have a house or a roof over their head.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean? That this is how I look
I
at it.
understand though, but don't you think at the same time too, those people that we are fighting for, right, about all those poor people, they can actually do something for themselves as well. Some of them can just get off their ass and do something for themselves.
Come and see what did you hear what I just said now?
I'm saying, and I get that, but I'm saying some of them are just letting the environment, their circumstances affect them too much.
Man's going for the job. Yeah, he's going for the interview. You know, some people go for so many jobs and they don't get it. You understand? My dad, yeah.
Yeah, so challenge
he's
yourself to be
going
better then.
But how can you challenge yourself to be better when that doesn't even make any sense?
What do you mean?
Because in the first place, yeah, then the system's already a shambles itself, because think about it, yeah, you've gone to university or you've gone to this thing in order to get a better opportunity to get a job, but you still have to compete.
It's not always about the system or competition.
It is
There's
competition.
always someone going to be better than you. So
That's
what you need to
competition,
do is improving yourself
So
and
that's
to get a better
competition.
job.
That's competition.
I don't think that's a competition. It's just life would be a
competition.
ball. Like
But is competition a bad thing? Is it a bad thing, or is everything meant to be easy for
so
everyone?
is competition a bad thing or a good thing?
I
So,
think it's a good thing.
Is it meant to be easy for
Competing itself
everyone,
is a
or-
good thing.
but competition might be a good thing when you're competing in football. You understand? To an extent, in where when the money gets into it, that's a bit messy, isn't it? But when you're having a kick about with a couple friends, you've got 11 aside, you've got 11 aside, yeah, and that's competition, right? But when you take it to people's livelihoods, bro, when you're telling people that this is in order for you to eat, you have to get a job. In order for you to survive, you have to have a job. In order for you to have a house over you, have a roof over your house, you have to have a job, bro. That's where it gets a bit. That's why I'm like, is that what you call competing?
Okay.
Because I don't see. If we're calling ourselves better than animals, and this is what animals do to survive, where they compete against each other, some will take another animal's food and survive. I'm telling you that we have abundance of all this stuff. We don't need to have that type of lifestyle. Understand?
No, we understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying see that what you were talking about, the interview thing, right? Life would be boring if we don't challenge ourselves. If someone
Who told you that?
life would be boring.
Who told you?
See, our life
Tell that to the
circum-
billionaires
listen,
that have all their,
our life
have their golf
circumstances.
courses and all that. That's
I
their lives are
understand.
not boring.
Our life circumstances is what shapes us.
Tell that to the sheikh in Dubai.
No, our life
Go and
circumstances.
tell it to him. Your life is boring because you don't have any challenges right now. Tell it to him.
No, so you think that just because they are billionaires doesn't mean they don't have challenges in life?
course
They
they
have their own
I
challenges.
think you'll probably have some challenges.
That's what I'm
Imagine
saying.
trying to buy some next company and
Name
they say
one.
no.
Name-
Yeah.
Imagine you
people
don't
in
know
the
the
conversation,
person.
name
You will
one.
have some.
In the conversation,
Everyone will
name
have some
one.
Yeah,
challenges.
everyone will have it.
In the way society is now, you will have some. Even if you're a billionaire, you will have
Name
something.
one challenge.
I
I,
can't know
want to find one
It could
challenge.
be addiction. It could be addiction
What addiction to what?
to cook. It could be to cook, bro. It could be,
So there's one-
and that's a
one
life
way-
challenge. It's a life challenge.
Maybe he's
to
addicted to
overcome it.
materialistic things.
Yeah,
And he doesn't really feel happy with himself.
Bro.
and maybe he's addicted to, not even addicted to, but maybe he's got more envy and hate in himself, and it's his challenge to overcome that.
Bro.
We need that life challenge
Listen.
to you know what I mean, to shape
Stop
us.
it, my man. Stop it, my man. I mean, you know. Yo, you know.
I think life would be
These
so
man-
boring
these man
without
are-
challenges,
listen,
man.
These man, listen, they are enjoying their lives. You understand? Out here, people are out here barely trying to hustle for what's it called, like £2 to get what's it called, wings and chips. You understand? So, like,
But how do you know they enjoy their
This-
lives?
I
Just
mean-
because they have the money doesn't mean they enjoy their life. Abundance doesn't mean it's not just money.
abundance.
Believing in an abundance lifestyle.
Abundance removes the idea of what's it called, having you know, anything to what's it called, worry about, like getting the bare minimum, like I said, food and shelter. Now once you have those things, whatever you want to do, because we were talking about this
disagree.
last time. We
I
talked about this
disagree.
last time. We talked about how people have addictions, and some people having these addictions, it takes it over. What's it called? Like getting too involved in these addictions could end up. I feel like I'm rambling now. Having too much of these addictions, what's it called, or being too addicted could pull them back on certain or whatever. We were talking about it last time, innit? So
You know when you say there's enough food for everyone,
yeah.
are you saying in terms of plants, or are you saying like animals and plants, or what do you mean?
I just know that the guy who I can bring up the interview and show it to you next time, innit? I've got the interview.
Because the
on
thing
my
is,
phone,
if it's like food that we eat now, not plants,
Mm.
do you think that if there's no exchange of money, that human nature is going to be selfish? Say, you know what, let me take all of this and keep it here. Then
Yeah.
before you know it, because there's no exchange in terms of currency or money, then there won't be enough food.
But I know what people will be doing is populating down the
Wait,
side.
I
You see what I mean? So maybe
I didn't even understand.
I'm
Wait, say
saying,
that one more time.
since you're saying that in the perfect world, you're saying like it's possible for us to live now without money because there's enough food and shelter for everyone.
Yeah.
I'm saying if that becomes reality, say tomorrow it just happens,
Mm.
don't you think human nature is going to make sure like human beings are going to take all some of them are just going to take more than they need just because it's an abundance
Okay,
of it,
so I hear
and
you
we
saying,
just
oh,
end up being
see,
selfish
see.
because it's in our
So-
soul.
Yeah,
this-
and
okay,
we don't.
okay,
Let's
hold
not
on,
forget
hold
this
on.
word. We'll be comfortable, and when we are comfortable, that's when shit happens. Sorry, that's when stuff starts to happen.
Okay,
Bad
no
things start to happen.
no problem.
But with money, it makes us more money.
Yeah,
money
balance.
is the
It
infinite,
makes-
bro.
gives it
Yeah,
a balance.
okay. Well, let me come from a more scientific point of view, because all these things are all these things that you said are what people use but all the time for their argument's sake, but they're actually not true.
Okay.
The fact is that when you go to a buffet, and what's it called, you spend £5 eat all
I've
day.
seen that you end up eating less than what you paid for. Yeah,
Okay.
I know. Yeah.
So this idea of like, oh, once you have what's it called, more money, no money, you're gonna have you're just gonna have more.
Well, I
That's not
guarantee
true.
you, in that buffet, there's still maybe like a 10% of people that still overeat just because selfish. They're just like, you know what, it's there. Let me just take as much as I need. So
There will always
it
be,
will still
listen,
even out to
there-
where.
there will be. Listen, there will always be people who go against the norm or go against this. There will always be little groups of people, but overall statistics have shown that this is not true, and this is what people make up because for some reason they love to defend the system so hard.
It's not
Black
about
people,
defending the system.
Christianity.
No. It's not about
Black
defending the
people and
system.
Christianity.
It's not about defending the system, but I just feel like money. I find there's I won't even say there's a bad side of it, but I just feel like it is there to make people more responsible, man. Because people will be so comfortable and they'll just keep overpopulating and populating, and the next thing we know, we run out of
But
everything.
again, that's not even true because like I said, that people who are in war-torn countries give birth to more children because the birth mortality rate is low. Whereas people who are in what we call first world country, yeah, they have less children because there's more chance of children surviving. So they don't. Some of countries like Japan, they don't even have children. The couples are married for years, they don't have kids. You know what I mean? When them don't even have sex, that's mad.
Really, I think they do have sex.
They did this actual test. They actually did the research.
What's the point of being with her then?
Yeah,
your partner.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can have companionship. It doesn't mean that you doesn't. It's just you're having sex. Like, we think all relationships has to revolve around sex, but they might be just having that companionship. You understand? So yeah, that's where it comes from. Right now. I do want to state though that Naya Biggie does say that death to all black and white oppressors unapologetically. Get that right.
Alright, so we ended here. Alright, thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if there's anything you guys want to add, just add it to the comment section.
Section below, my guy.
Yeah, I can get Ralph here next time. I can get Michael at the background on it. And we can all have a big discussion about this. I hope you guys enjoy your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Take care.
Peace.